Hey and welcome to a new video from Social Psychology Master's YouTube channel. These days, many of us suffer from a loss of meaning, direction, vitality, mission, purpose, identity, and genuine connection. A deep unhappiness that most of us have come to consider as simply ordinary. Over time, it becomes easier to feel numb to many of these signs and accept a lack of meaning in our lives as normal. Whatever the case may be, checking in with yourself and understanding the unconscious reasons is always a good idea. It can save you from getting stuck in a rut. It can also mean catching anything that is starting to make you unhappy and doing something about it before it gets worse. In this video we are going to show you the psychology behind the top 20 reasons why you're not as happy with your life as you should be. If you watch this video to the end and understand the 20 reasons given in this video, your life will change, because you are going to be aware of what makes you unhappy and get rid of it. If you are new here, subscribe for more social psychology videos. And comment down below, "I subscribed," so we can welcome you. Let's start. Number 1. Hanging around negative people. Complainers and negative people are bad news because they wallow in their problems and fail to focus on solutions. They want people to join their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. People often feel pressure to listen to complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous or rude, but there's a fine line between lending a sympathetic ear and getting sucked into their negative emotional spirals. You can avoid getting drawn in only by setting limits and distancing yourself when necessary. Think of it this way: if a person were smoking, would you sit there all afternoon inhaling the secondhand smoke? You'd distance yourself, and you should do the same with negative people. A great way to set limits is to ask them how they intend to fix their problems. The complainer will then either quiet down or redirect the conversation in a productive direction. You should strive to surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who make you want to be better, and you probably do. But what about the people who drag you down? Why do you allow them to be a part of your life? Anyone who makes you feel worthless, anxious, or uninspired is wasting your time and, quite possibly, making you more like them. Life is too short to associate with people like this. Cut them loose and watch your emotional intelligence soar. Number 2. You never read. You know that you actually get to keep growing and learning as an adult, right? These activities don't end when you graduate. Expose yourself to new ideas, learn about how your brain works, and you'll be shocked at how much that will put you ahead in life. Number 3. You worry a lot. Worry creates inner turmoil. It's like a rocking chair moving feverishly, but going nowhere. Worrying doesn't create action, it freezes you so you are unable to think clearly and make changes to ensure the negative outcome never happens. Your energy would be better utilized in changing things that you can control, and letting the rest go. Bobby McFerrin sang it simply enough: don't worry. Be happy. The lack of worry can certainly create happiness. Number 4. Comparing your own life to the lives people portray on social media. The Happiness Research Institute conducted the Facebook experiment to find out how our social media habits affect our happiness. Half of the study's participants kept using Facebook as they normally would, while the other half stayed off Facebook for a week. The results were striking. At the end of the week, the participants who stayed off Facebook reported a significantly higher degree of satisfaction with their lives and lower levels of sadness and loneliness. The researchers also concluded that people on Facebook were 55% more likely to feel stress as a result. The thing to remember about Facebook and social media in general is that they rarely represent reality. Social media provides an airbrushed, color-enhanced look at the lives people want to portray. I'm not suggesting that you give up social media, just take it sparingly and with a grain of salt. Number 5. You're too busy for self-care. We know by now that self-care isn't all sheet masks and bubble baths, right? You can't pour from an empty cup, and without self-care, you can't fully show up for other people. Take time for yourself to do things that make you feel good and back in touch with you. Schedule it in your planner if you have to make it happen, then don't cancel on yourself. Number 6. You hold on to the perceived idea of control. As your faith is strengthened, you will find that there is no longer the need to have a sense of control, that things will flow as they will, and that you will flow with them, to your great delight and benefit. Emmanuel Tenney. At times, people seem to believe that they stepped straight out of a superhero comic book. They believe that they can control everything very well and things will just turn out exactly what they planned. What a burden to carry. You would certainly need Superman strength to pick up that weight. However, the reality is that we don't have the ability to control anything else other than ourselves. Once you make peace with this, you find the pressure is off and you can start to enjoy the scenery of the journey, instead of plotting the impossibility. Number 7. Immunity to awe. Amazing things happen around you every day if you only know where to look. Technology has exposed us to so much and made the world so much smaller. Yet, there's a downside that isn't spoken of much. Exposure raises the bar on what it takes to be awe-stricken. And that's a shame, because few things are as uplifting as experiencing true awe. True awe is humbling. It reminds us that we're not the center of the universe. Awe is also inspiring and full of wonder, underscoring the richness of life and our ability to both contribute to it and be captivated by it. It's hard to be happy when you just shrug your shoulders every time you see something new. Number 8. You live your life based on other people's opinions. Tossing aside your own intuition and inner guide to follow what other people think you should do is a recipe for feeling like crap. Believe it or not, once you take responsibility for making your own choices, you will feel so much better, even if you're making mistakes, and you will. Number 9. You hold grudges. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Mark Twain. Holding a grudge has about the same logic as drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You are harming yourself by carrying all of that negative energy. Let the bitterness go, for your own benefit. The person who criticized you is probably having a great time without giving you a second thought, while you waste your life sending them death rays with your mind. Number 10. Blaming. We need to feel in control of our lives in order to be happy, which is why blaming is so incompatible with happiness. When you blame other people or circumstances for the bad things that happen to you, you've decided that you have no control over your life, which is terrible for your mood. Number 11. You think you have to have it all figured out. By now, you should know that none of us have it all figured out. Not your parents, not thought catalog writers, not your college professors. We never will, and that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out to be an adult, to pursue that crazy dream, or to buy a house. You'll never be all the way ready, and if you are, you waited too long. Number 12. You believe everyone should play by your rules. If you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. The world doesn't live by your rulebook. The sooner you accept this, the happier you will be. No one else got your memo about the way things should be done, how they should treat you, or how to live their lives by your standards and beliefs. People often get angry because someone violates their deeply held ideals. Yet, trying to do an impossible task, getting everyone to live by your idea of perfection, is bound to create a lot of frustration. Simply take people as they are and appreciate the colorful spectrum of ideas and viewpoints, instead of feeling exasperated by them. Number 13. Complaining. Complaining is troubling, as well as the attitude that precedes it. Complaining is a self-reinforcing behavior. By constantly talking, and therefore thinking, about how bad things are, you reaffirm your negative beliefs. While talking about what bothers you can help you feel better, there's a fine line between complaining being therapeutic and it fueling unhappiness. Beyond making you unhappy, complaining drives other people away. Number 14. You're waiting for a specific goal, before you'll let yourself be happy. Happiness is not determined by what's happening around you, but rather what's happening inside you. Most people depend on others to gain happiness, but the truth is, it always comes from within. Who is the happier person, the one who decides, I will be happy when I make $100 million, or the one who believes, I will be happy with a great supper and time with my family? Having lofty goals are great. But when you tie your happiness to future successes that may or may not happen, you never find joy in the life you live today. Find things that thrill you today, and let tomorrow surprise you. Number 15. Impressing. People will like your clothes, your car, and your fancy job, but that doesn't mean they like you. Trying to impress other people is a source of unhappiness, because it doesn't get to the source of what makes you happy. Finding people who like you and accept you for who you are. All the things you acquire in the quest to impress people won't make you happy either. There's an ocean of research that shows that material things don't make you happy. When you make a habit of chasing things, you are likely to become unhappy because, beyond the disappointment you experience once you get them, you discover that you've gained them at the expense of the real things that can make you happy, such as friends, family, and taking good care of yourself. Number 16. Neglecting to set goals. Having goals gives you hope and the ability to look forward to a better future, and working towards those goals makes you feel good about yourself and your abilities. It's important to set goals that are challenging, specific, and measurable, and driven by your personal values. Without goals, instead of learning and improving yourself, you just plod along wondering why things never change. Number 17. Negative self-talk. Imagine how well a sports team would do if the cheerleaders were mocking the team instead of cheering for them. You are doing the equivalent to yourself in your head when you tell yourself you're stupid, fat, ugly, and not enough. No, I didn't read your mind. We all say these things to ourselves. It's like basic human brain programming. Upgrade your thoughts by doing a gentle shift to something that is believable but makes you feel better instead of worse. My body is disgusting, changes to, I have a body, or, I'm learning to love my body. Number 18. You seek materialism over everything else in life. Many people are so poor because the only thing they have is money. While money certainly is a great gain in this life, it doesn't bring happiness. Think about how you would feel if tomorrow was your last day to breathe. Would you really want to make more money, or would your focus turn to connecting with people or having certain experiences? If you live by your values, you will find more fulfillment than materialism could ever bring. Number 19. Giving in to fear. Fear is nothing more than a lingering emotion that's fueled by your imagination. Danger is real. It's the uncomfortable rush of adrenaline you get when you almost step in front of a bus. Fear is a choice. Happy people know this better than anyone does, so they flip fear on its head. They are addicted to the euphoric feeling they get from conquering their fears. When all is said and done, you will lament the chances you didn't take far more than you will your failures. Don't be afraid to take risks. I often hear people say, "What's the worst thing that can happen to you? Will it kill you?" Yet, death isn't the worst thing that can happen to you. The worst thing that can happen to you is allowing yourself to die inside while you're still alive. Number 20. You're stuck in your past. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading your last one. Many people become the product of their pasts. They are the causalities of regret, sorrow, what-ifs, and hindsight vision. While we can all learn from our past, staying there is not practical to living in the present. The past can't be changed or relived. To constantly dwell on it does not create an emotionally healthy outlook. If you made it this far, it means you are a true fan and we really appreciate your support. If you are really serious about learning the secret of how to make any man obsessed with you, we highly recommend checking out the first link in the description of this video. It's a professional and powerful psychology guide that helps you win him over even if he wasn't initially interested in you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Check out our other videos for more interesting psychology topics. Thanks for watching.